Welcome everybody, today it's number 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got it wrong yesterday. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yes, I think I need some Spanish and Italian lessons. You're right. Today we're going to talk about a beautiful oil. I've got the rest behind me prepared. Today we're talking about the awakening oil. I believe that was the next in line, but I'm not 100% sure because I've got dementia and Alzheimer's, I think, at the moment. So let's get to it, shall we? Awakening oil, what was it that made me create awakening oil? Probably the fact that everybody was going into meltdown. I was frustrated. Nobody could see what was happening, hardly. People were calling us crazy. People were saying, what you're talking about? You're doing terrible things. And I'm like, am I going insane? Is it just me? Didn't you hear what they said happened to the animals that they tested on? They all died. Is it a law? Is it just, yeah, but we're all going to die. Yeah, if we don't do it, we're all going to yeah, but what are you doing? So I think the frustration that we all went through, a lot of us, because we could genuinely see something was off, something was wrong. And now, even now, some people don't see and they need a bottle of awakening oil. So I think I made it out of frustration, which isn't always a good thing. But it came with a lot of love. And I did mention that on the description. It comes with a lot of love. So I was frustrated. So I wanted, like, Mac, how do I turn my frustration into something positive? Create an oil that will help awaken people. So I guess, to be honest, it was that what really triggered me. The other thing is, people were sending me messages all day saying, you know, I'm really struggling to awaken. I'm really struggling to understand what you're saying. I'm doing my best, but I just don't know how to do it. And, you know, so many people are coming on to Mark Bajerski in different places trying to meditate, attune, and I'm not getting anything. So there was obviously a combination of both. I didn't just do it for that one thing, but I think that was the kick up the backside. And then I thought, okay, well, you know, we've worked with Palo Santo. We know it's incredible. We've worked now with frankincense. Fantastic. We've worked with sage. Amazing. And what oil? So, like, what aromatherapy oil, essential oil, is going to create this? So like I begin, I get a jar, buy a jar like that, and bring it into the room and put it over there by my table, and I sit down and I start to, this is what I do with all the oils, I start to meditate, apart from the first one, start to meditate on it, start to attune to it, start to open up to it. And I might not get anything for a day or 2 or 3 or 4, and I'll just keep putting it out there all the time. The one thing I kept noticing when I got up was my eyes fixated on, I'm not going to show you, my eyes fixated on this, on that, and up there on, I don't know if I can show you, on this. See the Buddha? And I'm trying to understand the message. Why do I keep seeing it? And I didn't really put the pieces together, and then all of a sudden I started, in my mind's eye, after a few days, started to see the Buddha's head, and the pieces started fitting together. Okay, the Buddha's head. And I recall the representation of the Buddha's head. Why was the Buddha's head like that? And whether it was coincidence or not, there is something very unique about the Buddha's head, which is very much aligned to the pineal gland. So this is what I was told, that when you look at the pineal gland, I call it, aka the spiritual muscle. It's not a muscle, I know. It's a gland. But I call it a muscle because we have to exercise it. So it's an easy way to explain. Or alpha mode, you're alpha. So I'm looking at it and okay, there's something about the Buddha's head and the pineal gland, and then pine cone, a pine cone. Oh my God, pine. Maybe pine is the answer. So I got a little bit excited, as you do, and I made my way down to my new local place, because my old place closed down a long time ago, so I can't get oils from there anymore, just to try out. So I flew down and said, have you got any Spanish pine oil? Yeah, we've got a few bottles. Okay, I flew down there and I just bought them and brought them up. I didn't want to smell them there, I just wanted to bring them up. So I brought them up, sat down, meditated a little bit more, and then I thought, okay, focus on what you want in this jar. Is this the oil? I opened it up, smelled it, poured it straight in. So that was it for me. Straight action, straight in, that's it. So step one done. Base oil was grapeseed, so I filled with grapeseed, and then I started to look for oils that would look for crystals that would work. Just give me a second. So I'm going to be careful now because I don't want to... Okay, so awakening oil. Can you see inside there? Okay, I'm going to be careful, Mr. Bajerski. So, as you can see, there's going to be amethyst. There's Super 7 in there. There's fluoride in there. Certain fluorides like Diana Marie fluoride. Also, gosh, what else did I put in there? Oh gosh. Anyway, it'll come back to me. Other things that help awaken or open the pineal gland. So I started then putting certain beautiful crystals in there. So I sat and kind of meditated, and then of course I forgot to mention that I added about, I don't know, about quarter of a cup of each oil that I've used, so they're all in there apart from that one. So that's kind of like the foundation. It's got the memory of all the oils, and now I'm adding 2. So started making some phone calls to France and asked them which is the most beautiful pine oil they have, and they had 3 or 4. I said I'll take all 4. So I took all 4. When they came, it took about 2 weeks, I started to add all the pine oil from all over where they came from. Like so, I'm happy with all of them. They're all slightly different in smell, but similar. So I started working on it then with pure energy healing, and I used my sound therapy and started working with some of my spiritual tools on it. And eventually I was happy and ready, so I began to bottle it, and not run away, but bottle it. And here it is, the awakening oil. Very proud of it. And as per usual, I thought I'm going to send it out to a few people, but this time I wanted to send it to people who were more like beginners. So I noticed there's some of you might be watching now, I sent you a few bottles free, and those that had never felt anything and tried to work with it. And even today I got a message saying that they used one of my oils and they started to see synchronicities. Is this a thing, and why is this? Well, I'll explain that tonight when we do the synchronicity live on Sheep Farm. But anyway, I sent it to them and I got some great feedback, really positive feedback. And I'm like, if that lady can say that she experienced something, she's never experienced anything, she's told me and she tells me all the time, and now she felt something and she's excited, it's her beginning, like, okay. So I was kind of confident with it, and I'd used it a few times, and I'm like, is it going to help people who are already, seeing things? I noticed that I became more aware of signs. I noticed I was more aware of things. So I'm thinking, no, it's really helping me. So then I didn't sell it straight away. It took a little bit, and then I sent some to 3 really good friends of mine who are working healers and psychics. And one was a woman, and she said, it's fantastic, Mark. I'm kid you not. I'm like, okay, it's ready. So I did my due diligence, if you could even speak, Mr. Bajerski. And I thought, right, I'm ready now. I've got the confidence that everybody's loved it. I love it. It really is a beautiful oil. And the final thing that I don't normally tell anybody, but I turn a card over just to see if it's a good sign. And I'll show you what card I got. I always remember to this day what card it was. I'm just going to show you so you'll see yourself. So this is the card that I turned over. Might not mean anything to you. If you're a pure energy healer and you've worked with my cards, if you've done my tarot course, then you will know what this means. Basically, this is the tree that I try to get to when I meditate, and here are my spirit family. So basically, this is the tree of the spirit world. This is the spirit world, and this is connecting to the spirit world. So this card to me means that I have a strong connection to the spirit world, and the 8 is a representation of kind of infinity. It's always going to be there. So it's the awakening of spirit. So yes, a little tear came to my eyes, and I kind of ready to cry, and I'm saying thank you, and I feel like I've done the job that was told of me to do, because they were all things that happened to me. For me to be frustrated, to go through that, to create it, was all synchronicity. Of course it was. So what do we do with the oil? What is it? How does it kind of work? What does it do for you? I think the words that I would use is intuition, psychic awareness, awakening, connection to spirit. If you are a psychic, if you are clairvoyant, clairaudient, medium, if you are a practitioner, if you work as a teacher, if you work as if you're a student, if you are an instructor, if you are a therapist, this is an amazing oil. Okay, so what do you do with it? So first of all, this is how I work with it. You've seen me, lots of you have seen me work with this oil when I'm doing my psychic work. I hope you'll vouch for that. I take 1, 2, 3 drops, rub in the hands, okay, and across my head. Once across my head, I go to the top of my head and massage into the top of my head. I go rub again, I go to the sides, and then I go to the back of the neck. And lastly, straight to the heart. If I'm doing my psychic work, I will end by doing this. Help me see the truth. Help me hear the truth and put some behind my ears. Help me speak the truth and rub it on my heart. Help me feel the truth. And then I take a few deep breaths. Whoa, it's strong. Hold for a few seconds. Blow everything out through the mouth. Exhale for 3 seconds. I'll do that a good few times. This is how I work with the oil. There are times that I've used it in different places. So follow your intuition and guidance, okay? Always follow that. If you're wanting some kind of structure and you think, well, let me follow you, but I actually feel I want to do it differently today, follow what you feel because it's working now. If your intuition is kicking in, it means you're following it. So just because I use it in this way, it might mean that, hey, Mark, I just use it on my third eye. That's enough. Hey, you've got it. You are the teacher now. So well done. So I just show things to give you examples. So once that's done, for me, it's important that you embrace it. That's a thing that we have to do, embrace it. So embrace it means that we have to fall into it. And the oil itself will start to help release, decalcify the pineal gland. It'll start to penetrate in the head and start to clear the worry and fear. And you'll start to feel better and better. And I would probably say, if you were to ask me, how do you use it, Mark? I'd say, put it on every day, where I've just done it. Put it on every day, as many times as you can, for 2 weeks. Just keep doing it for a couple of weeks. So what you're doing is the oil is actually penetrating, doing what it's meant to do. Because not always, as in a healing session, you can give somebody a healing and it can take 45 minutes before you even penetrate. The oil is purposely there to penetrate, to awaken that muscle, that gland. And it's helping open the third eye. It's helping you connect to your higher self, your consciousness. So that's what I would suggest. That would be a suggestion. Now, I've had people say they put it on and within the hour of doing the meditation, it just blew them away. But not everybody's the same, depending on how much, I would say garbage, yeah, it's garbage, it's baggage you've got, how your life has been as a child, your trauma, how you're feeling at the time, like now. All of these are factors that you can't put into an equation. So it's hard for me to say, oh yeah, this will work in an hour. So I don't know. But what I do know is that the hits, I call them hits when things have happened and they've been provably a hit or a success. A hit is a success to me. Oh man, that was a good hit. And it's just something, I don't know, I used to say it in terms of baseball because I used to be a pitcher. So, first of all, don't ever give up. Don't think this isn't working. Just keep doing it, right? Because what the oils do, I noticed, is like there were some people saying, no, I didn't feel anything at first, but all of a sudden I started to see the signs. I'm like, oh, wow, brilliant. And can you give me an explanation what you mean by that? Oh, I saw this and I saw that. And I'm like, did you watch any TV that represented any of them things? No. Okay, good. So we're not going down the hypnosis or Paul McKenna, but we're going in a direction where this is genuine. And this was just oh, Mark, I used the oil. I didn't really feel anything. But then I thought about my best friend, Jenny, and all of a sudden Jenny rung. Like, now we're getting it. That means that your psychic connection is working. You thought about her, she was ringing you, and you already got the phone call before it rang. So we're getting somewhere now. These are good hits. So maybe I should call them hits. They're good success moments, okay? So the oil helps awaken those who are asleep. The oil helps those who are on a path of spiritual awareness and are already aware, but they want to heighten their awareness. It's not just for beginners, which I believed I was making it for, but I noticed a common pattern of people saying, hey, I'm a healer, Mark, I'm a psychic, I've been doing it and I love this oil. I bought your full set and I've not been stopped using this awakening oil. And what is it? I'm like, can you not smell it? It's pine. Oh no, but yeah, now you've said it, yeah, I can smell it. But like I said, there's 4 different pines that I've got in that jar. So there's a few, some smell sweeter, some smell just a little bit different. So I guess the oil is about strengthening the pineal gland. It's about awakening. It's about all the things that I've just said. So I believe, is that number 5 oil? I don't know, it might be 5 or 6, I'm not sure, but anyway, that's the next oil, right? And the awakening oil. I hope you appreciate this video. I hope you now understand a little bit more about this oil. I love this oil. I love working with it as a tarot reader. If I'm doing some tarot work, if I'm meditating, I'll use it. If I'm going to bed and I want to get to a higher frequency, I want to feel more, I want to understand my dreams more, I want to understand, I just rub it on the third eye there. Like I said, I'm repeating myself, but you know, going to bed, waking up in the morning, doing it. So just through the day, I just love this oil. It's beautiful, and a lot of people love this oil. So I share this magical oil with you today, which is called Awakening Oil. I hope you appreciate today's little chat and where I use it, and please comment below if you use it, and if there's somewhere else that you like to use it and it's been effective as well, and anything that you've experienced with the awakening oil that's helped you along your journey. It just gives not only credibility to this conversation, but it also gives people confidence and awareness to say, okay, maybe there's something in this. It's not just a sales pitch, which many people do think. It isn't. It's truly about, if I was a full-time healer now, with my hand on my heart, I'd be the proudest person to carry all my 10 oils. The proudest, because every oil would help. Imagine if you're a healer, which a lot of healers tell me, that when they're working on a client who's stubborn or in a bad place and can't feel their mum in the spirit world and they've just died, they use the awakening oil to try and help them connect. There's so many benefits with this oil. Intuition, guys, is not just all about connecting to the spirit world. It's connecting to your higher self, where you can then connect to an infinite source of amazing information. Imagine your daughter is going to school and she's struggling with school. Rub some on the third eye and see what happens. Because I've had messages back saying I rub it on my daughter's or my son's third eye, and they have a brilliant day and their work is getting better. There's so many reasons why this oil works so well. I'm just giving you a fraction of 10-20 minutes, but there's so many things this oil is good for. But there you go. So I'll leave one link below for this oil, but I'll also leave a link below that, which is, at this moment, yes, we do have a special offer for everybody on YouTube, and that is for all of my oils. So I hope you appreciate that. It's £104 discount, and we include free DHL delivery worldwide. So thank you very much, guys, and thank you also, even if you don't buy anything, thank you for subscribing to my channel. It's really appreciated. Take care. Bye for now.